Good morning. This morning I'm prompted to make a video recording of my thoughts in progress as they've evolved over the last few hours and this morning. This morning I was listening to the television in the background and heard a woman talk about the mental health crisis being faced in America, in fact being faced all over the world. My colleagues in the Middle East, in America, in England, all over Europe and throughout Australia are dealing with what they're calling a mental health crisis. It's also a political catch-cry as our forthcoming election is looming and people are wondering how mental health is going to be funded in the budget and by the opposition. But I've also been thinking about whether this is something that is simpler than we imagine. There are many political hot topics at the moment. Immigration, mental health, pollution, global warming, lots of things. But I want to think about humanity and I want to think about people as individuals. There's been lots of talk in the last little while about people holding space for others, supporting each other. These are all great things. But what about holding space for yourself? This morning I was reminded that when my daughter, who's now a mature, wonderful woman, was 13, she went on an exchange to Japan. And the contrast between Melbourne and Tokyo was overwhelming for her as a 13-year-old. She called me from Tokyo totally overwhelmed, not by the change in culture, not by different food, not by housing, not by language, but by the sheer pressure of numbers, the number of people around her, the close proximity of people around her. And so that, combined with the talk this morning about the increasing mental health issues being faced worldwide, I wonder whether we should just try and hold space for ourselves, that this might be part of the contribution. Couple that with all of the media, all of the pressure of being contactable all the time, mobile phones, internet, keeping pressure on us all the time, so there's very little downtime for the individual. As well as that, there seems to be a pressure to be happy, optimistic all the time. This is not natural. How do we know the joy if we don't know any of the pain? How do we know the happiness if we don't know any of the unhappiness? But we feel trapped and worry about ourselves and our children and our parents and our friends if they don't appear jubilant most of the time. This is something that we identified in psychology some years ago as the happiness trap. And it is a trap. You don't have to be jubilant, joyful, smiling, happy, exhilarated all the time. It's just exhausting. So how about just stepping back, turning off some of the internet access, turning off the mobile phone, closing the windows, closing the doors, stepping into your backyard, onto your balcony, or just retreating into one room, putting up your feet and allowing yourself to just be, to take a moment to withdraw. It's not a clinical symptom to withdraw from the rat race all the time. Take a moment to hold space for yourself. Withdraw from the pressure of numbers in the street. Withdraw from the pressure of contact continually. Allow yourself to have some time out. I wonder if we remember to go back and find a space. Find a space inside our homes, inside your apartment, inside the yard. Go to a local park. Get in a car and drive bush. Walk in the countryside. Walk along a deserted beach. Don't be afraid. Don't think that it's a clinical symptom that you want to have some time for yourself. So I think you should find some time, like I'm going to find some time. Hold space for yourself. Allow yourself to just breathe. Don't analyze. Don't make it a symptom of something to be concerned about. Just enjoy the process of being, of having some space around you. Physical space, emotional space, psychological space, social space. It's okay to be alone. Many times on Facebook, for example, I see people decry the fact that they're alone, that they don't have a plan for tonight or tomorrow. That's okay. It really is okay to not have a plan, to be free to just be. So I urge everyone to take a moment to learn how to take space, hold space for yourself, and enjoy the essence of just being. It might be a challenge at first, but a skill that grows with you that could be so beneficial. It might be one of the simple steps we could all take to reduce the so-called mental health issues facing our society. Maybe we just need some space. God bless. Just be and find your joy.